One. Hello, we're here with Zac Weiss, a student reporter who has been following the Pioneers very regularly, whether it be from WPPJ Radio or the Globe, and we're here to talk some Point Park Pioneers sports. Zac, thanks for coming in today.
Absolutely, Kevin. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and you can catch him in the Globe sports section and also A to Z Sports along with his partner Andrew Goldstein. We'll talk about that a little later. But Zac, you had a chance to cover Point Park volleyball very closely as the Globe beat writer. Talk about your time and what your thoughts on the Pioneers were.
Absolutely, absolutely. Going in, I was actually asked as a class assignment to cover this, to pick a beat to cover it. So I decided, pick a sport where they have a good track record. It's easy for me to get to. Initially, I didn't quite understand, the rules. A lot of people, unfortunately, don't. However, as I grew on over the course of the 15 articles I covered for the Globe and through my time with WPPJ, I really started to understand the rules, and it became a very good learning experience both through the written word from the Globe, through the spoken word from WPPJ, and also watching a lot of the action. The benefits of the Student Center there, watching a lot of the action there were a huge benefit. Definitely a very, very historical season. I was glad to be a very small part of it.
What was your take on that Pioneer team? 36-6 made it to the national tournament. A lot of talent out there.
Absolutely, definitely a lot of talent out there, and the best part is a lot of them are coming back next season as well. Something to definitely look forward to, so they can definitely repeat the success. Obviously, a couple big losses. Spiritual leader in Cassandra Maxwell and Rachel Stadina finally became a force this season. But it was great to see a lot of players establish an identity on the court. And really, as the team, again, a very historical season, that home court advantage in the Student Center, which we saw in the AMC tournament, as well as in the play-in game versus Holy Names. So it was great to see the team. We knew that they were a fiery team, a competitive team. This was the chance that a lot of Point Park fans were able to, instead of going to Green Tree per se, which could be harder for some people, just going up street to the Student Center made it a lot easier for them. And again, the team, a lot of awards. Unfortunately, I wish the defensive specialists got a little bit more recognition there. Unfortunately, sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. But, great season for the entire team, and kudos to Mike Bruno and Neil Brown for a great coaching job and a great season.
Yeah, definitely. And volleyball was your beat for the Globe, but A to Z Sports on the radio side at WPPJ, the weekly show. You have to cover everything there, so you got, you have to keep tabs on all the Pioneer sports. What were some of the other things that you saw as a reporter from some of the other teams in the fall that caught your eye, whether it be soccer or whatnot?
Both soccer teams, as you've noted, Kevin, have made really good progressions this season. Starting with the women's soccer team, the record might not have been what they wanted in terms of the losing skid. Unfortunately, sometimes, again, that's the way the cookie crumbles. But it's a very young team, and that can be a definite advantage moving forward, where this season, a successful season where they did make the AMC playoffs, could be used as a stepping stone in addition to a strong recruiting class that we know that Coach Platts will build upon. So that was definitely great to see. Again, unfortunately, a little bit double-digit losses, and I know that's not the way that the team drew it up, but at the same point, the talent is there. Christina Stammer, Kylie Williams, a lot of good talent. Anna Shaw will return as the goalkeeper, so that's also a big plus. So it'll be great to see what the women can bring. As for the men's team, a lot of progression there as well. Great to see them host the AMC playoffs, a huge season for them. Obviously, last season they were hovering right around that record and dropped a couple, late, and that kind of hurt things. But this season it was great to see that they were able to host the AMC playoffs. Again, a huge stepping stone for Point Park sports and Point Park University altogether. And although they came up a little bit short in the end of reaching the goal of winning the AMC tournament, a very good season, some very good efforts there from Wendell Hopel, Lucas Silva, Alex Sala. The whole team just did a very, very good job. And again, very, very good job by the coaching staff led by Yaron Wallstra, so a good job there.
Yeah, and then the cross-country teams had some injury problems, but had some of the best talent or depth that they've had in recent years. With avoiding the injury bug, they could have maybe done a little bit better, but still a nice job from them.
Absolutely, a very good job done by the cross-country team. You just touched on it. The injuries were unfortunately a huge part of the season, or else the results could have been a little bit better. Again, some good individual results, though, Dylan Grun and Kiri Rouse for the men and women both became stellar and, made an identity for themselves. And there's also some up-and-comers. Lindsey Palmer on the women's side is one to touch on. And it was really great to see that the men and the women were both, instead of just putting their heads down saying, okay, we lost a couple of our lead runners, they kept going and they kept running on, no pun intended, unfortunately. But in all seriousness, though, some great individual results. The team results could have left a little bit to be desired, but again, next season they'll have that identity again and they'll have a chance to, redeem themselves. And with this new leadership, perhaps it could be, again, a stepping stone for next season, something I said with a couple of the other teams.
Great. Again, we're here with Zac Weiss, reporter for The Globe and WPPJ Radio. You can catch sports information like this and more Pioneer talk on A to Z Sports Weekly on WPPJ. Zac, go ahead and tell us when the show is going to be on in this upcoming spring 2012 semester, where we can catch it.
Absolutely. A to Z Sports is entering, I believe this is the, I can't even count here, journalism mathematician here, but again, spring semester, we started fall freshman year, so fall freshman, spring, fall, this is our fourth semester, I guess, is it? And I guess, wow, the time has really passed, but new time again, new day, Tuesday. Instead of Wednesdays, it's now Tuesdays from 4 to 6 p.m., obviously, with some of the basketball games interfering with that, sometimes may schedule, the run time of the show may change. Again, that's the way the cookie crumbles in those instances. But all signs point to the first A to Z Sports being January 24th. That's, again, a Tuesday, so be sure to tune in. Point Cafe, you can go www.wppjradio.com. I heard it's been mixed, but I'm sure you could probably get it in the car, 670 AM. WPPJ, you can give that a try. iPods, feel free to give it a try. All over campus, there's no excuse to miss it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you liked the kind of Point Park sports talk that you've caught here today on this video promo, be sure to tune in on Tuesdays, 4 to 6 p.m., starting January 24th. Zac, to get you out of here on this one, we're in the middle of Point Park men's and women's basketball season. What have you been able to catch so far, or keep tabs on with those Pioneer teams, and maybe what is in store for the rest of those seasons?
Honestly, I've been very surprised by the success of the women's team. I knew that they would have a winning record. I mean, we have a good track record here lately with Sam Ksanovic, obviously in the Tony Grenick era. You don't know what's going to happen in between, but the right moves have been made in terms of the team. Huge winning streak right now, historical win streak right now, and let's see let the cards fall where they may, but this could be, again, a very historic season and a very good mention for Point Park sports as a whole, and that could really, really help things. For the men, it's been very, very hard because you're going with Chris Dowse and Jimmy Sherwood, two very proven leaders that are both gone. So you have to establish, again, another identity. And while things have been a little bit tougher for the men's team per se, they still have a winning record. They're riding the ship. Devon Alexander's had a very solid season. TJ Hetherington, leading scorer, very, very good marks. He had a couple really high-scoring games. Coach Boubon, you better look out. He may eclipse that mark there. Chris Dowse, you might want to look out as well there, too. Some very solid seasons. Dante Anglin starting to establish a little bit more of an offensive identity to match the defensive intensity that he has. So it'll be very nice to see what these two teams can do. But it's very possible that both teams could win their division, and that would be a very, very good mark for Point Park sports as a whole.
Great stuff, Zac. Again, this has been Zac Weiss, a reporter for The Globe and WPPJ Radio. He and his partner, Andrew Goldstein, host A to Z Sports, Tuesdays, 4 to 6 p.m. this spring on WPPJ Radio. Catch it online, wppjradio.com, and at A to Z Sports WPPJ on Twitter, if I have that correct.
Correct.
And tune in to that for weekly Pioneer talk like this. If you liked what you saw here today, there's plenty of that coming at you every week. Thanks a lot, Zac.
Thank you for the time, Kevin.